Now, if you're like me, your BRZ has some bumper fitting issues and you have some bad bumper gap. But today, we're gonna fix all of that. We don't only have bumper gap on this side, but we have it on this side as well. What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm sorry if I still sound kind of weird. I am going through COVID right now. But today we're installing these quick release tabs that I actually got off of Amazon because I didn't want to spend $250 on like the Move Over or whatever the brand is on FT86. So I got these ones for $14. It comes with 4 of them. They're all metal. They all feel like good quality. So we're going to install these to hopefully get rid of our bumper gap. This install shouldn't be hard. The only nerve-wracking thing is we have to drill into the bumper, which is unfortunate and a little bit scary. But if all in all is right, we need 3 tools. So we need a 10mm, we need one of these boys, a step-up drill, or the Christmas tree drill bit, as I like to call them, and a 10mm this, and a 1/4 drill bit to actually drill the first initial pilot hole into the bumper. So it shouldn't be a hard install, it's just kind of a scary one because we're drilling. So step 1, we have to open up the bumper, and I think we might actually have to look at the headlight brackets and take those off, so we might need a screwdriver as well. They also might use a 10mm. So we'll pop up the hood, take the bumper off, and we'll look at those brackets. So after the bumper is removed, we are going to remove this side bracket right here. It's just being held on by a Phillips and it should just like slide or snap off. I looked up some things and they said you really don't need this. So we'll just take this off and see what it does. It looks like we might have to loosen these 2 bolts just to get some flex on it so we can actually remove this piece. You will now be left with these 2 holes right here. So your first disconnect is going to go in this hole right here, and then your second one, we're going to drill a hole like in this area right here. For the next hole, we're going to get some tape and we're going to measure like down this thing. So it's going to be covering halfway, and then it's going to be halfway down this slant right here. I'll show you what I mean by that. Cover it halfway, straight line. Right there is where we are going to drill our 1/4 inch hole for our second one. And then I'm gonna make sure that this is completely tightened down before anything. Right now it is loose, but I'll make sure it's super tight before we actually start doing anything. I don't have the biggest hands, but it's definitely hard to fish it in there. So on the more expensive kits, they have these angled like spacers, and I don't have an expensive kit that's only $14 off of eBay. So I just kind of put a wood chip in there to get the angle right, so it's flush with this top fender part, so that way it will be completely flush and even. So just tighten these all the way down, and then we're going to repeat on the other side. So at this point we do have both sides in and secured. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to put toothpaste on the ends of it, so when we push our bumper in, it will leave a mark of where we need to actually like drill to fit the quick release part. So unfortunately I am running out of daylight, but I drilled my hole, and you can see right here I just kind of poked it through and it works, which is making me happy. So the next step really is just to drill the hole bigger so I can put the actual quick release tab in there. And I might actually only run 1 of them opposed to 2 because of the fact I don't have a spacer there. So it's going to be a weird angle. Also, with this is holding it in place right here. I have no gap anymore, so this is already doing a much better job than before. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. So we are back to attempt this again, and I actually found my tripod so we don't have to do any more weird angles, so I can actually have everything like how I want it to be. So instead of actually utilizing that hole for the second one, I think I'm actually just gonna drill a second hole, and I'll show you guys where in a second, because I don't have that little spacers that the Move Over Racing one comes with. So this one will actually still match the shape of the bumper, because I'll show you guys. So if I use this hole, it shoots out right into where the side marker goes. So if I'm thinking if I drill a little hole right here, it will match this entire curve, just like this one matches. I gotta retighten that one, and it should be good to go that way. So I'm probably just gonna drill another hole, do the same trick as I did like the halfway down, and put it right in the center, so that way it just matches everything completely, and I think that makes the most sense. At this point in time, everything is lined up correctly and we don't have any more sag. We still have a little bit right here, but I might be able to fix that just by adjusting, and once everything's screwed in to up top, it should be a little better. But everything is lined up. So now we are going to have the task of making everything wider. So we'll make everything wider. We have our Christmas tree bit that's just going to extend the holes so we can actually thread in our quick release portion of it, and then we're all good to go here. So this is definitely the scariest part of it because I don't want to drill it too big or too small. I gotta make sure it's just right so I can actually fit these in there. So then we just screw them on and then we are good to go and we are done here. So it shouldn't take too much longer after this point. This just is the scary part. So now, which is arguably the scariest part of this, is using this drill bit to make it the size of these so I can screw these into place. And I taped these down because I did tape things with it. I don't know, I read online you should tape it down, drill from this side so the shards shoot that way. And we're just gonna get it. I'm gonna do this slowly just so I'm careful with it, just so we can get a good size on it. And just like that, we got them in. They're a little bit wonky looking because they're not centered because, again, I didn't have the right pieces, but I'm sure it'll look fine when it's actually on the car, hopefully. I do kind of like the industrial look of these things opposed to like the rubber band. I hate the rubber band look. So these I think look pretty clean. So I'm gonna do the other side real quick and do some adjusties and we'll put it on the car and see how she looks. It's definitely going to be some adjusting and fine tuning to make these fit right because right now they are sticking out super far. So with that being said, this isn't going to actually sit flush at all. So I just have to make sure that these are in enough. Like this one's connected, but I have to make sure these are in enough to make it actually work so they sit flush. By no means is it perfect. I still do have this gap right here, but this side is all pushed in. It still does need more adjustment, and this still isn't even bolted in, so it should tighten up a bit more, but it's pretty much done now. They aren't perfect again. I don't know how to make them any more perfect because I don't know what I'm doing. If I tighten this up, it will probably go in even more, so I'm gonna try adjusting it some more and seeing what I can do. So this is definitely an interesting one, and this is a weird angle because I'm currently buttoning everything back up. These passenger side, the top one didn't really work as intended, and it kind of stripped itself and broke. Far one, like by the end of the bumper on this side, is also pretty bad too. So it kind of is half functional right now, half for looks, because the headlight one works as intended, but the other one doesn't really do anything, and I'll show you guys here in just a second what I mean by that. So we still have bumper gap, but it's a lot more gone now. That made sense. And only the fronts work. So you can see it's definitely tight in here, and just this one's holding in. So there's still a little bit of gap right in this area, unfortunately, but most of the headlight gap is now gone, and the bumper, I suck at putting this thing on. And same with this side, it's in right here. This one doesn't really do anything, it's just kind of there for looks. But the bumper's not falling off anymore, which is a plus in my book. It looks a little bit janky, but definitely less janky than falling apart. All in all, I am definitely in the middle of how I feel about it because one, my bumper is definitely secure now. It's not gonna fall off, and I know that for a fact, but there is still a bit of a gap there. But it's better than it flaring out because both sides became unbuckled. So it does look better in that aspect. And I don't know, this look is a interesting industrial look, and I kind of do dig it. I don't know, it's probably gonna grow on me. I might replace this bumper eventually anyways, so we might not have this issue anymore, so I'll definitely save the other pieces. But all in all, I'm definitely in the middle of it. I still think the BRZ has one of the worst design bumpers of all time, but bumper sag, it's an issue. It's mostly corrected now, and I think I could still tighten it up a bit. It sucks now that I have all these holes in my bumper, so if I take these off, I have holes now. So I think I want to replace this bumper regardless eventually with something either like a Rocket Bunny or something else just to change it up. But it doesn't look too bad, and I'll take a picture to show you guys how it looks. I mean, it's definitely a look, and I kind of do like it. Well, let me know what you guys think. I can't really get more hardware to fix anything else in Nudes because I have COVID, so I can't really just go anywhere to fix anything else, but I am pretty happy with it, how it came out. It's gonna grow on me, I know it is. I kind of wish the shape of it was a little bit different, and I kind of wish it was more like angled, but you know, it's how it ended up coming out. So the move over kit was definitely probably a better option because I had the space just to ensure it was a perfect fit every time. And this one I was kind of winging it, and I had to drill extra holes, and it was kind of a weird situation, and I didn't really like that. But all in all, my bumper's not gonna fall off. I know it's not gonna fall off. I know it's secure now for a fact, which makes me happy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video with me fixing my bumper sag. So I'm gonna leave you guys off here. So you guys can please do me a few things. Comment, like, subscribe, keep doing the fun stuff. Stay safe, stay motivated. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and peace.